Hello and welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a while, but today I'm back and I'll be bringing you an overview of the SDS BAE RBAV armor carrier. This armor carrier in front of you is in the Ranger Green color scheme, and it is a size medium. As within the name, RBAV stands for Releasable Body Armor Vest, and it is a releasable vest meant to carry bulks and spear cut armor, along with hard armor plates for front, back, and sides. Going over the front of this vest, you have your actual release handle of the vest that's actually covered by a Velcro panel that has a Velcro patch for hook and loop identification placards such as flags or name tapes. This handle is what is used to release this vest in an emergency situation, whether you fall in the water or you've been wounded or anything like that. And pulling this handle will release the vest, all the components of the vest, bringing you free of the vest. And I will be going over that later on in this overview. Going to the front of the actual MOLLE channels, you have 3 channels. 3 rows of MOLLE webbing with 6 channels each on the top, along with another 3 rows of MOLLE webbing with 6 channels each on the bottom. Basically, you could fit a 3 triple mag pouch on the front where these 6 MOLLE channels are. Basically, affords you that space on the front. Going over the rear of the plate carrier. The rear of the plate carrier is very similar to the front, with the exception of the integrated drag handle, which is affixed down by a hook and loop placard as well. You can also affix identification placards to this, the same way that you can do to the front drag handle. Not drag handle, the actual pull handle location. Going over the top of the rear of the vest, what you see here is part of the release system. The release system runs throughout the front, starting with the handle through the front of the carrier, throughout the yoke and the shoulder straps. It runs all the way to the back to what you see here. In this pouch, this is basically an access panel to the release system when you're actually reassembling the vest. No armor goes in here. This is just basically meant to access in case you actually have to reassemble the vest. Inside here, you can actually fit a hydration bladder or anything along similar size, such as bolt cutters. Basically fit in here. It actually snaps shut at the bottom, so you won't lose anything. It's pretty handy. It's basically all that this is there for, is access location. Your actual rows of MOLLE are about the same as the front. You have 3 rows on top with 6 channels each. And you also have 4 rows instead of the 3 on the bottom with 6 channels each. The actual bottom of the rear of the vest, you have You actually have access to the release system from the rear, which I'll be going over later on in this video. Going over the actual shoulder straps of the vest. This includes shoulder straps that are actually padded with the release system running through them. These actually are removable through a Velcro attachment system. What you see here is a release system cable running through. These shoulder pads are folded in 2 different areas on each front and back to afford better comfort when wearing this vest, as this is a very heavy vest when it's fully armored. The internal part of this actual shoulder strap is lined with hook on both sides. And for the case of attaching supplemental armor systems, in this case, deltoid armor protectors. The deltoid armor protector will go and simply slide right in and push this down and attach the protector to the vest. What you see around the front and back of the vest is loop meant to attach your actual neck protectors for soft armor lined neck protectors. This vest also includes the capability to attach other supplemental armor systems such as a groin protector. You'll see two buckles when I'm going through the overview on the bottom of the vest. That's what those are for. That's about it for the actual overview of the actual front, back, and shoulder pads of the vest. I'll be going through the actual overview of the internals of the vest along with the cummerbund assembly. Stay tuned. Alright guys, I have this vest partially disassembled to show you the cummerbund system, as the cummerbund system is a two-part system. So in the inside of the vest you have an internal cummerbund. On the outside you also have an external cummerbund. The internal cummerbund is elastic. See here, it's very stretchy to accommodate your waist size, and it's actually adjustable from the rear if you need extra size to accommodate your waist or chest size. The internal cummerbund is meant to, when you're actually donning the vest goes over your body, and you use this to affix the rear. This is rear part of the plate carrier, which you actually take this and affix this over your stomach. The reason for that is this is a very heavy armor carrier, and it helps prevent it from bouncing up and down if you're doing a lot of motion and running and all that, jumping. And if you have it tight enough, it actually, in my opinion, well, in my experience, it actually helps alleviate some of the weight on your shoulders when it's fully armored. This vest is fully armored. I don't know if you can tell, but I'll be going over the armor within the vest as well later on. But yes, this goes on the inside. And for the outside cummerbund, this cummerbund is just a regular cummerbund, and it also is affixed to the release system. So when you release this vest, both these pieces are going to come off as well. So this cummerbund has around 8 channels of MOLLE with 3 rows. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channels to affix any equipment you need, pallet or MOLLE. And if you can tell, but I also have side armor in this cummerbund. Going on to the actual armor components, this vest is armor carrier, so that means it carries armor such as bulks and spear cut armor. So with this vest, you have the spear or bulks cut armor in the front and rear, and you could also have the ability to run side armor, like shown. Open this up and show you the side armor in this vest. It's a bit of a pain to pull out, but please bear with me. It's a bit easier when this vest is does not have the armor in the front and back. This is the soft armor panels and the hard armor. It's a bit harder to get that armor out. This is a level 3A soft armor panel meant for the cummerbund. This is specifically made by Rhino Armor Ballistics, and it is just a simple level 3A panel. If you're wondering about the specific size for this panel, this is a 6x9 armor panel, which basically fits the pocket for the armor perfectly. With this being an armor carrier, the bulks cut armor would most likely, I'm a thinner person, thinner build, more fit in size, but if you're a larger person, the bulks armor, see that actual side would overlap this side when the vest is actually donned. in case of you're a larger person that may not overlap. So I'm guessing this is why the ability is given to actually run side armor and the cummerbund as well. For me, it's redundant because I'm thinner build, so both the armor in the front actually overlaps the rear. But that's just given just in case you are a larger waist size. So it's a bit redundant for me, but if you're a larger person, that's why it's there. So that's it for that side. It's the same with the other side. You got to build it and run both sides, obviously. But basically, just there's a Velcro strip that you actually can open up and slide it in like so. And yes, there it goes. Alright, off to the next area of this review. I'm going to show you how this vest gives you the capability to run, has the integrated capability to allow you to run hard side armor plates. Now, on the front of this vest, below the front of this vest is the box armor pocket. On each side of the vest is affixed to that armor pocket are pockets size for 6x6 side armor plates. The plates I have within this vest specifically are Ceradyne Level 4 standalone MSAT plates in the peach color scheme, in case you're wondering. Now, these plates pockets also give you the capability to run if you have a level 3 plate brought up to level 4 or level 3 in conjunction with plate. These pockets are sized wide enough to actually allow you to run a soft armor backer behind the plate in case you're running this carrier without the box armor inserts, as that would be redundant since the box armor insert actually runs behind this plate pocket. So you wouldn't actually need to run anything like that if you had a soft armor backer behind this in this plate pocket if you had the box armor insert inserted into the vest. So that's a nice little combo if you have the armor inside the vest. Now, another thing within this plate pocket is this can actually be used as a magazine pocket instead. So we see on both these sides are two retention straps strapped down by a bungee. So what you do is you can actually run two USGI 39 magazines on both sides. You would insert the magazine and you take the bungee strap and you actually run it over and affix it onto this little plastic looking piece here, and it actually retained the magazine. These are a bit wonky. I bought this vest brand new and these needed to be tied down. If you ever buy this new, they're going to come loose unless you do so, because I don't think they really bother with that when they ship the vest or anything like that. You generally have to assemble this vest when you get it, so it's a nice little addition. You may have to rig up something else instead to get those magazines to run, because they don't really catch very well on these little pieces. They're eventually going to come off, so I don't have much confidence in that, but it's nice to have it there. Another question might be if you can run 6x8 hard armor plates within this vest. You would have to rig something up as well to do so, since the snap that goes over the plate is only size for 6x6 side armor plate. Now, I think this vest was actually created to address the issue of another vest in regards to running side hard armor. The Eagle Cyrus vest, the Eagle Combat Integrated Releasable Armor System, did not have the ability to run side hard armor without the additional cummerbund adapter. So it's an interesting fact that I believe this vest was created to address that deficiency within the Eagle vest. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you the core components of this vest. Well, the core internals of this vest that gives this vest its name as an armor carrier. This vest has the ability to run box armor, box or spear cut soft armor, as well as hard plates within the front and back. So on the inside of this vest, your plates in armor are inside these mesh pockets, and they just simply are fixed closed by Velcro. And as you can see, the wings on both sides, that is for the box cut armor. And this armor I have here is box armor, specifically made by Custom Armor Technologies. I pulled this soft armor panel specifically out of a Diamondback tactical plate carrier, a low-vis plate carrier from Diamondback, but give you a good view of these panels. These panels are pretty hefty. They weigh, I don't know, about 2 pounds each, 2 or 2.5 pounds, I guess. Pretty thick, pretty hefty. They're composed of level 3 armor for frag protection mainly. That's what these are for. They fit around the sides, like I said before. They provide the armor protection around the sides as well. When you're wearing this vest, these are going to overlap each other and provide you full side coverage. Now, going on to the actual hard armor of this vest. This vest has the capability to run hard armor as well in a separate pocket. This mesh pocket right here is for the soft armor, and under that is more of a half pocket where your actual hard armor is going to sit. Now, inside this vest, it's actually cinched shut with a Velcro strap to keep the plate from bumping around. Now, what I have inside this vest is currently not ceramic but steel 10x12 strike plate made by, I believe, Diamondback Tactical as well. I think back in the day, Diamondback also marketed steel armor, and this is one of the pieces that they marketed. I also pulled this out of a Diamondback vest, in case you're wondering where I got it from. This armor plate is 10x12, and I want to go over that. And the interesting thing about this vest is the fact that this vest is made for military size plates, strictly military size plates. So, being said, this vest, this pocket is mainly meant to fit military size plates. These being 10x12 commercial plates, well, interestingly enough, on the back, specifically the carrier, these plates will not fit all the way in the carrier. Whether it be standard cut, ceramic cut plate made for the rear of your vest. You see here, it's not going to fit at all. I'll try it as well with this triple curve ICW in conjunction with plate. It's a level 3 upgraded to level 4 if you have soft armor like so behind it, like the box armor I have here. It will fit like partially, but it's not going to fit all the way. The main reason that is because one is a tad bit too wide, the other is because it is triple curve, as the triple curve adds to the area of the plate, which does not lend to it fitting very well in that pocket, so it also is too large for that pocket. This plate I have will fit within the pocket up to 1 degree. It's the point that it will actually fit within the vest without hanging too low or anything like outside of the pocket, but it does not fit all the way up. So that's the thing I must stress. If you're going to buy this vest, you need a military size plate, which I believe is around 9 inches by 12.5, 9.5 by 12.5 inches. believe for a medium-sized plate. Since this is a medium carrier, you need something around that size to fit within this pocket. So if you have anything like a 10 by 12, some 10 by 12 plates are made out of spec, so they're somewhat undersized. There are a few out there. If you check hard enough, you might be able to find one. But standard off the market 10 by 12 will not fit within this back pocket all the way. It'll fit to the point I can close the vest as you saw before, but they won't fit how they should within this pocket. So that's an interesting tidbit of information I want to give you. They will, interestingly enough, they will fit within the front of the armor carrier without any issues whatsoever. But within the rear, I don't know if it was a defect with my actual plate carrier or it's just how it's sized. I'm pretty sure they're pretty stringent with their specifications and how this vest is made, so I assume it's not in air or with how they make these vests, but that's how it is. So if you buy one of these, make sure you have something that's going to fit within that back pocket, or if you buy some like a steel plate manufacturer, you may be able to have them cut it down just a tad bit. So otherwise, yeah, keep that in mind if you plan on running hard armor within this vest. Okay, I want to show you the actual last part of this vest, the releasable, the release assembly of this vest. So going over through the actual rear of this plate carrier, or armor carrier, since this is an actual carries armor and plates, bulks armor specifically, or spear cut armor, I want to show you how the release system actually works. So since this, like I said, this is, you have your pull handle up front. In case of emergency, say you fall within the water, this is or are wounded, shot, or whatever, and you need immediate medical assistance, you're going to pull this cord. Fall, like I said, if you fall in the water, this is a very heavy vest, you're going to drown within seconds, or you don't have much time, so you want to get this vest off. So you pull this cord, and as I showed you before, the cable for the cord, there's a cable for the cord that runs through either part of the shoulder. It can run in either or when you assemble it. That cable runs through the shoulder, the yoke and shoulder area of the plate carrier, to the rear of the vest. Now, it runs all the way down from the top, all the way down to the bottom, and ends at the bottom. Now, and specifically right here. Now, what happens when you pull that cable? So you're pulling this wire out. Now, if you're wondering what this cord is made of, it's a steel, similar to what you find in a bike lock. So it's very tough. It's not going anywhere. It's not flimsy or anything like that. Now, you're going to pull that, and what's going to happen, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it all the way because it's a massive pain to reassemble this vest. There's like instruction videos. I bought this vest new, but it came with an instruction manual. But it's a massive pain, and thank God there are instruction videos and stuff like that out there to reassemble it, to help you reassemble it, because it takes a lot of work going through the front and back to get this cord through and all that. But going on, when you pull that cord out, it's going to come through. I'm just going to go through this one. And imagine the weight of this vest. The vest weighs about 30 pounds, so it's going to pull these things off. I'm going to pull right off, and you see that the cummerbund is affixed to these loops right here. These little loops and little buttons. And all that weight is going to pull these things right off. So your cummerbund's going to pull it right off. Your internal cummerbund as well. It's affixed under the actual middle strap. And your shoulder is also affixed to that. Shoulder panels. they're going to come right off. So the entire vest is just basically going to fall off of you once you pull that cord. And hopefully once then you're able to kick free of it, and minus if you have any comms equipment on you, break that loose and either swim away or your medic's going to be able to get to you and all that. So it's a real big help in those maritime environments. What this was envisioned for. There's a famous incident, where a bunch of the Blues Marines drowned because they weren't able to get their armor off fast enough, which I think is what spurred the development of these releasable vests. And very tragic, but they learn from their mistakes. We learn from our mistakes and we create better equipment, such as this. The next thing I want to also mention is the future of these releasable systems. Going forward, and actually currently now, there's a system that's slowly taking over these cumbersome release systems. ITW is a manufacturer of molded plastic, tactical equipment such as buckles and buckles or components kind of like this where your feet are strapped through. They make a buckle that actually, imagine a fork on a buckle that you'd snap to, snap your pack on or snap something shut with. And there's a cord like this affixed to where the fork of the buckle, one of the sides of the buckles. Now if you're to pull that cable, it's going to depress the forks of the buckle. Now imagine that cord affixed to a handle like so, or something like that. Now once you pull that, whatever that buckle's affixed to is going to release, which is a really interesting system, and that is actually used today on the latest generation of the U.S. Army's improved outer tactical carrier, outer tactical vest, improved outer tactical vest specifically, and it is a very, very simple system because once you press that buckle and release that, whatever components that buckle's affixed to, all you have to do to reset the vest or whatever it is simply snap the buckle again. That's all there is. So you're going to see that slowly overtaking this vest, the style of release system on these vests. I think a company that also uses that is T3. I think they make a bunch of gear for the Navy and all that. I think there's also some other armored carriers out there that use it. I think there's one made by Armorware that uses that system. So it's slowly taking over, slowly yet surely. And I'm going to show you how you kind of have to feed this through a little hole, and then voila, and then this cable goes through. Feed it to the rear. Yeah, it's a little interesting little tidbit about this release system. And that's about it for the rest of the carrier, about the release system and all that. Alright, so that's it for my overview of this vest itself. I wanted to actually end this video with my personal thoughts on this vest, as well as where to acquire the components that you've seen in the video throughout the overview of this vest. Going over my thoughts of this vest, this is an RBAV vest, and the RBAV is not exclusively made by SDS and BAE. The RBAV vest has been made by different manufacturers over time. This is an older style vest, and going over the years, there's been different revisions. The main revision is the fact that this vest is made of 1,000 dinar cordura instead of 500 dinar cordura instead of 1,000 dinar cordura. The dinar is the actual thickness of the fabric being used in the vest. 500 dinar cordura is lighter than 1,000 dinar cordura. I believe it's half the weight and about 70% of the durability. Don't quote me to it, but I think that's the actual spec that I saw, meaning that this vest is lighter at the sacrifice of rigidity. And when I first picked up this vest, I noticed how how light it was in comparison to my other vests. And I generally like the actual heavier 1000 denier styles. It's just a personal preference of mine. I want to let you know about this because if you were going to pick this vest up and plan on running it without the bulks armor, say running it with just a regular sappy plate and armor backer or something like that, it's not going to be as rigid as you probably want it to be. So this 500 denier, the actual bulks armor, gives this vest its main rigidity and what you see like here. So if you were going off right off the bat with a 1000 denier vest, you probably get away with it without much issues. It's just something I noticed when I actually acquired this vest. Right, now that that's out of the way, I don't have any other issues with the vest. It is very well made. You can see that there's a lot of loose threads or stuff like that. It's actually sewn off, so it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to pull loose or anything like that, as far as I could tell from messing around with this vest. It's just I guess how they do it when they make the vest. You'll see like little marks right here. That's just little chalk marks where they actually marked where to actually do the lines for the molly. Other than that, the actual fabric, the vest, it's great. It's 500 denier. I think it'll hold up just fine. It's just, that was my personal thing I thought about the vest. So very nice vest overall. Going over to actually where to acquire the components of the vest. This vest I was able to pick up from new old stock from a certain online retailer on eBay. These vests can be found for as low as $120 and up. That's the lowest I've seen them go for, as new old stock as well. Look aside from eBay, you can look at your local surplus stores or online retailers, because I've seen many online retailers carrying these vests as well as new old stock. You also may be able to find the older versions of the vest, as I see them pop up from time to time on eBay and other online retailers as surplus stock and other types of conditions. The thing I'd like to add is the fact that these vests are being sold for so low is because of the current trend within the military and other manufacturers, is that the general trend is going towards lighter armor carriers and lighter gear due to complaints of heavy equipment being worn by soldiers fighting overseas. A good example of this is the U.S. Army's IOTV character improved outer tactical vest has been supplemented by something like the SPC soldier plate carrier. So you're seeing an armor carrier being supplemented by a plate carrier. So you're going to see a lot of these vests, these heavier vests, being sold as, much lower prices than what you'd usually see back in the day. So this vest generally retailed for around $400. You're going to see it for much cheaper. Like any other thing that's actually being phased out or anything like that. These actually aren't being phased out, they're just being supplemented by other other plate carriers until the need arises to use these armor carriers again. So I just want to throw that in there. Going over the bulks armor within this vest. The bulks armor is very expensive. Bulks armor retails for up to $600 and up, though I've seen it go for sale online as low as $250, $260 and up. The reason why that is the bulks armor, the composition sometimes changes. The lower price stuff you see, probably that lower $250 stuff, is most likely made of 100% Kevlar, meaning that it's much thicker and it doesn't afford as much comfortability. It's not as comfortable as the higher price ones, as the higher price ones are made of also higher performance fabrics that afford better protection. But they're also, higher performance ones are, more expensive ones are most likely made out of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fabric or fiber known as Dyneema and other proprietary names. So just keep that in mind if you actually plan on buying the actual bulks inserts. You can actually find Really nice bulk inserts for a lot lower price other than new, as there's also a lot of police units use these, and they sometimes change out their armor. So if you keep an eye out for these, the bulk armor inserts, you can actually find them for even lower price. The bulk inserts I got in this vest, they were specifically removed. I pulled them out of a Diamondback Tactical Rapid Ballistic Vest, a low profile Rapid Ballistic Vest, to be specific. So going over the actual hard armor of this vest, the hard armor was also pulled out of a Diamondback Rapid Ballistic Vest. Armor plates in here, like I've shown, are steel, AR-500 steel, not actually the retailer AR-500. The company name is just AR-500 type steel. So you find steel plates for around $150, $160 and up. For a set of 2, I believe, and you'll find those steel plates you'll find at that price are most likely not coated with a build-up coat. The plates I have in here, I do not believe they have a build-up coat. They're just plates coated with a base coat. Build-up coat is meant to actually catch fragmentation. If you ever shot steel, you know that anything that hits the steel is going to fragment. Any of the rounds that hit the steel are going to fragment, and if you're wearing something like that, it's going to potentially injure you. So a lot of manufacturers give you the option to have a build-up coat. Build-up coat is an extra $20 more, so you're looking at $170, $180. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at buying steel. Like I said, plates do not fit. 10 by 12 plates do not fit in the back properly. So you're going to have to find a workaround and actually find military plates. You're going to try to get them in the back, or military size ones. Going over to actual side plates, the side plates I have are Ceradyne side plates. I picked those up through a contract overrun. So if you keep an eye, you might be able to find some of these plates. There you go for $200, $300 a piece. I've seen them occasionally as low as $100 a piece. You also, if you're looking for regular plates, you can find military surplus type plates for around $130, $150 actually a set. Or if you're looking for something even cheaper, you can find AR-500 steel plates, and they'll fit just as well as long as they are 6x6 plates. Going over to the actual plates you see on the side, those are ceramic plates. You'll be able to buy those for around $200 and not brand new. You also find those, of course, as surplus, but you need to keep in mind that being surplus and being previously handled, they could be subject to cracking, as ceramic is susceptible to cracks if it's handled improperly. Difference between ceramic and steel, you can drop steel and it'll be just fine. Ceramic, you have to watch out for that. Also, you need to watch out in the case that if it has a U.S. marking on the back of the plate, it most likely means it was gained through illegitimate means, and that's not good. So it means that it's most likely stolen from U.S. military stock. So keep your heads out for that. Yeah, so that's about it for the actual components of this vest. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them by and I'll answer them as they come along. If you have any comments or think I've actually missed something, feel free to drop those in as well. I'm completely open to those, and I enjoy seeing comments and all, so feel free to do so. Well, that's about it for this vest and overview and my thoughts on it. Till then, guys, I'll see you later.